graft them together. Fix the grafted part with the clip from the science side. Plant the grafted seedlings into a transplanting pot with the finger-wide space between them. If the sunlight is too strong, shade the grafted seedlings for 2 to 3 days to prevent sudden withering by transpiration. After approach grafting the seedlings, crush the stem under the scion to check if the graft is taken. If it has, sever the stem of the scion. Let's see what the cross-section of the graft union looks like. Here you can see that the tissues of the stems are connected. Now let's summarize the important points of approach grafting. Approach grafting is a technique to splice seedlings with their roots on. Sow rootstock seeds 3 days earlier than scion seeds. The seedlings should be grafted between the first and the second true leaves of the rootstock, but may also be grafted under the first true leaf. Leave the 3 true leaves of the rootstock and cut off the upper part. Make a cut into the stem of the rootstock diagonally downward. For the scion, make a cut diagonally upward. The depth of the cut should be 2/3 the diameter of the stem. Fix the graft union from the scion side with the clip. Be careful not to allow the grafted seedlings to wither up. If the sunlight is very strong, provide shade to reduce it. Next, let's learn peg grafting with watermelons. The peg grafting technique is used for cucurbitaceae such as watermelon and cucumber. In peg grafting, the species of plants used for the scion is different from that for the rootstock. For instance, bottle gourds are used as rootstock for grafting watermelons, whereas pumpkins are used for cucumbers. The graft takes well or poorly depending on the variety of the rootstock. Watermelons do not necessarily go well with any kind of bottle gourd when grafting, and the same is true with pumpkins for cucumbers. First, I'll explain the procedure of peg grafting with watermelons. To begin, sow bottle gourd seeds to grow a rootstock. Three to 5 days later, sow watermelon seeds to grow scions. About 2 weeks later, when a bottle gourd has 1 true leaf, it is time for peg grafting. Let's try peg grafting with watermelons. Check that the seedlings look okay. Use a sharp-top metal spatula or a bamboo or wood spatula to make a hole in the rootstock. Softly pull out a seedling without damaging its roots. The differences from approach grafting are the following. For the rootstock, remove the true leaves and leave the cotyledons. When doing this, steadily hold the basal part of the cotyledon and leave the petiole of the true leaves away from you so that you can easily break the petiole. Cut off the scion. Then sever the stem of the scion diagonally. Hold the stem in your mouth to prevent the cut surface from drying. When grafting the scion to the rootstock, make a small hole at the bottom of the true leaves of the rootstock. When doing this, make sure the tip of the spatula sticks out through the stem. After making the hole, insert the scion with the cut surface facing downward into the hole. The angle and direction when you insert the scion into the rootstock are very important. Insert the scion deeper into the hole in the stem of the rootstock until the tip of the scion sticks out of the other end of the hole. Plant grafted seedlings into a pot so that the roots are spread loosely in the soil. Management of peg-grafted seedlings until the graft is taken is more important than with approach-grafted seedlings. Wrap the boxes containing grafted seedlings with vinyl to seal them. Then cover all boxes again with vinyl. Of the double vinyl coverings, the inner one that directly covered seedlings should be sealed off to maintain high humidity inside the box. It is important to keep the temperature in the space inside the outer vinyl covering at around 25 degrees Celsius and not to allow it to fall below 15 degrees Celsius. When the outside temperature is low, put straw sheets, for instance, over the vinyl to keep it warmer inside. If the scions look very withered, keep them out of sunlight for a day or two, then expose them to sunlight in the morning and evening and gradually increase the duration of exposure. This process is called acclimatization. The point is to make scions receive sunlight as soon as possible and help them grow well. About a week later, the vessels become connected and the sprouts shoot up from the scions. When you are sure the scions are growing, remove the wrapping vinyl from the seedling boxes and provide good water management so that the roots of the rootstocks can get sufficient water. Grafting is completed when you're sure of the graft has taken. Let's remove one cotyledon of the rootstock and check how well the graft has taken. You can see they're definitely connected. Here, let's summarize the important points of peg grafting. Peg grafting is a technique of inserting a scion to a rootstock and is often used for grafting Cucurbitaceae. The species of plants used for scions and rootstock are different, but you should select varieties that are compatible with each other. Sow rootstock seeds 3 to 5 days earlier than scions. Leave the cotyledons of the rootstock, but remove the true leaves. For the scion, keep the embryo and cut it off diagonally. Make a small hole with the sharp-tipped spatula at the bottom of the true leaves of the rootstock. Choose the correct angle and direction of insertion. The correct insertion angle is 45 degrees to the stem. For the scion, face the cut part downward and put it into the hole of the rootstock until a small part of the top is out of the stem of the rootstock. The humidity and temperature of the peg-grafted seedlings should be carefully controlled until the graft has taken. After grafting, if the seedlings are seriously withered, carry out the acclimatization process or temporarily block the light and then expose the seedlings gradually to sunlight.